third and last segment for today, but it's another segment of good news. Today has been honestly a great day. Kotaku might be RIP. Some other very woke websites are not looking so great. We have a hilarious filing from Lemoyne, a clear sign of desperation in my humble opinion. Very worried about the Vic Mignogna litigation getting appealed. And now, moving back to some more news in Japan, we have a segue from one angry gamer titled Japan Red Cross keeps with busty Uzaki-Chan for blood drive. If you're out of the loop on this story, basically, I'll show you the other article in a moment. We'll recap that at the end. But the quick TLDR on that is that some people here in the West were very upset that, well, I mean, take a look. Well, that's the wrong way, actually. Wait, what the heck? Okay, there we go. Take a look at Uzaki-Chan. Something there would upset certain very fragile individuals in the West. I think you can tell quite quickly what they would be upset about. Well, their complaints to the Red Cross about this mascot did not work, it seems. I haven't read this article yet. I'm going to read it for the first time here with you guys. So let's take a look. So One Angry Gamer writes, SJWs attempted to scuttle the blood drive by Japan's Red Cross organization because it featured the super good-looking Uzaki-Chan. From the ecchi manga, Uzaki-Chan wants to hang out. However, the efforts from the no fun allowed police was stamped out by the Red Cross in Japan, who promptly noted that while the protest of using Uzaki-Chan was noted, they would continue to partner with anime and manga companies in order to bolster the appeal of blood drives, which has been a huge success for them in the recent past. So it's kind of hilarious. I mean, they literally say, yeah, not literally word for word, but we saw you guys crying about this. We saw you guys complaining about this. We're still going to do it anyway. So, yeah, keep on crying. Continuing. Sora News 24 picked up the news from Japanese blog site Otakamu, who reported on a quote from the Red Cross, who stated, this quote, "This promotional campaign is merely providing a novelty gift to people who are kind enough to cooperate with our blood drive, and we do not recognize it as some form of SH mint." You know what I mean? What would you reward them for, man? What should they get rewarded for donating their blood? Maybe they should be given a vegan patty cake and I would say a pat on the back, but actually no, you can't physically touch anybody because, you don't do that in 2019. So stick with the vegan patty cake, and that's that. Now let's continue. We have previously received support from numerous anime series in promoting blood drives, and these partnerships have been well received and increased the amount of blood that was donated. In regards to opinions about the current promotion, we are listening to them sincerely and will take them into consideration for future activities. I mean, it's a little concerning. I do like to meme it and say, as I said earlier, we see your complaints, we're going to do it anyway. But I don't know. Hopefully they're being a bit sarcastic here with the sincerely, or maybe not. Maybe they sincerely are listening. Maybe a little, I don't know. Maybe it's not that bad. We're sincerely listening. We'll take them in consideration. So, it's not the end of the world. If they sincerely listen and give it consideration, that doesn't mean they won't decide not to do it. I mean, it seems like they took it into consideration before and said that they're still going to be keeping Uzaki-Chan. So it is what it is. But what's funny is this, actually. Let's take a look back at the second part. It increased the amount of blood that was donated. Uzaki-Chan increased the amount of blood that was donated. If only companies would be able to actually understand that certain things will bring them more money and certain things will make them lose money. Almost like the logic is missing from those companies. But at least the Red Cross in Japan has logic. That's great. So let's keep going. For those of you unaware, back on October 14th, I guess they're going to recap here, 2019, Western and Japanese social justice parasites paraded around on Twitter about how terrible the Red Cross was for using the cover of the July issue of Uzaki-Chan Wants to Hang Out as the promotional material for the blood drive. Now, notice how they write even Japanese people, right? So keep in mind, Japan is awesome and for the most part doesn't seem to pander to these very weird people, these very weird bigoted people here in the West. But that doesn't mean some Japanese people might not pander to that demographic. Now, why I'm bringing this up is because I want you to be aware that there are people on social media, there are people in the West who will say, Japan actually agrees with us, and they might retweet or cite somewhere where someone in Japan does agree with them. but that doesn't mean the majority. But they'll try to spin it like it is the majority. So be aware of that tactic and just know how to counter it. You know, how do you counter it? By saying that's only one person, or it's a small sample size. Where's the other sample size? Any sort of thing like that. You guys know, right? So let's continue on. Senkaku Complex captured some of the tweets from the activists who managed to garner thousands of interactions and support for condemning the organization for getting people to donate blood thanks to using the busty anime girl for the promotional material. Isn't it great that the activists are trying to hurt something that actually benefits people? Isn't that surprising? Uzaki-Chan, statistically, according to this write-up, actually increased the amount of blood donations that was given. But these activists who care so much about human rights are trying to stop that. Isn't that a bit counterintuitive? But they care more about getting their woke points and complaining about a certain character's anatomy being too thick, so to speak, right? So they go with that approach. Absolutely ridiculous. See some tweets here. One says, I admire the work of the Red Cross does, which is why I'm disappointed that they would run a campaign using the over-S-olized Uzaki-Chan. You guys know on YouTube we have to do things like this. I apologize, but it is what it is. There's a time and place for this stuff. They say this isn't it. They write hashtag woman, hashtag me too, hashtag kuto. And then they, I guess, link Uzaki-Chan there in the tweet as well. A little picture there. And we'll keep scrolling by this. As noted in the Senkaku Complex piece, various Japanese blogs, news sites, and even nightly shows reacted to the Twitter outcry and championed the Red Cross for using Uzaki-Chan to help get otaku to donate blood to the Red Cross. Hey, there you go. There you go. If only our Western media was a bit different, to put it for a lack of better terms there. Moving on. For now, it appears as if the Red Cross is holding its stance and continuing to use Uzaki-Chan for its promotional material. The downside is that they did mention that they were listening to feedback, which is something that any normal person should never do when it comes to social justice types hollering in their ear. Sora News 42 believes that the Red Cross will hold firm in their stance and continue to partner with anime and manga properties leading up to the February 2020 blood drive, which will also supposedly feature Uzaki-Chan once more. We will see if they hold the chorus or if they fold to pressure when February gets here. And it sounds like that's unlikely, at least from this write-up and what Sora News 42 is reporting, allegedly, right? But could you imagine if they actually do pull Uzaki-Chan after she statistically apparently seems to be increasing the amount of donations that they do get? If they pull it over ridiculous backlash from people who pretend to actually care about civil rights, but they actually end up hurting those rights. They end up hurting the health of people who would need to go to such a service as this. If they actually end up listening to that, oh my gosh, I will be so disappointed. And disappointed is an understatement because people will end up getting hurt. And that's the most disgusting thing about this, man. These people preach progressivism and civil rights, but then the reality is they don't really do anything to help people, and they're more like bullies. Instead of actually going out and helping people, they would rather go on social media and complain about Uzaki-Chan. Instead of, I don't know, getting out and actually donating blood themselves or something like that, they would rather sit here and complain about the poster that statistically actually seems to see more blood donations and actually helps people. Instead of, there's so many examples of this, right? Instead of actually helping society, they want a bigger government which has more power and limits what you can do and controls people and takes away their rights and so on and so on and so on. The hypocrisy is off the charts. But like we covered earlier today, it seems like the pushback against those sort of bigots is actually getting better and better and better. And I know some people disagree with me on this. I don't think that this woke culture will last forever. I don't think it will. I really don't. It's not profitable. It's trendy in the lamest way possible. It's going to fizzle out. It's not sustainable because it's not profitable. And it really doesn't do anything for people's rights either. More and more people are getting fed up with this. And more people are speaking against it and fighting against it. And, in my opinion, doing the right thing. That's all I got for today, guys. I will see you tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please consider hitting the thumbs up button, sharing your thoughts and opinions in the comments below, and sharing the video if you wouldn't mind. That all certainly helps out indeed. And shouts out for the kind people who shared the last two videos that I produced over on Twitter. Thank you to Super Saiyan Hey, the Lancaster Kid, Coden X, Spooky Rookie, John Edwards, Nathaniel Enox, Crispy Noken, Skelly Kitty, and we got Coden X, Deshaun Miller, and Altier Jico. And you took the Eggs Benedict out of your name, but I'm gonna call you Eggs Benedict anyway. Hopefully you're the same person. I think you are. Otherwise, they're gonna have no idea what I'm talking about. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.